Welcome to Cosmic RX Radio, a podcast that gives you real-life tools of spiritual empowerment and pure hype. I'm your host and intuitive guide, Madi Murphy.
This week, the sky says it's going to keep getting a little intense, but we have some transitions that are going to be transformational baddies. I'm going to break down everything we need to know that's going on in the cosmos and WTF is happening and how you can work with this energy instead of getting worked over by it. And of course, have it happen for you and through you, not just to you. But before I get into that, I am your girl. I am your high vibe, hype woman, your cosmic consultant, your metaphysician at your service. And honey, we are standing. Oh, Madi Murphy, that's my name. We're standing at like the precipice, the edge of glory. I'm hearing that song right now. But no, as we go into this week, right, we tip into a place of being called to step into more balance and more beauty and more harmony as the Libra equinox, the Libra season fall equinox begins. But we also have Mars is plunging into Scorpio, a vengeful and intense energy, especially as it is about to square Pluto. So this is the hot sauce of the universe. The temperature is going to continue to go up a little bit, right? We're all going to taste it. We're all going to feel it. And I want to help you again, give you your metaphysician's cosmic prescription to help you mastermind, to help you work with this energy, to help you honestly manifest your highest, hottest, most aligned self, even if our collective energy feels like it's in a quite literal dumpster fire right now. So Virgo announcements, Virgo check in. How are we feeling? How are we doing? A few just things I wanted to say before we get into our astro weather is if you missed the If Astrology Isn't Real segment, that is back. That should be wherever you listen to podcasts and on our YouTube. I did a full hour this week, not a mini-sode, but just kind of like a cosmic context, a check-in, like finger to the pulse, like how are we doing? Where are we in terms of the astrology for the year? How is it playing out? So go check that out if you've been missing that. We took a little break, a little pause as I was on my podcasting book tour. Also, thank you to everyone who came to our New York City High Vibe Happy Hour book launch party. It was so fun. It was just so affirming of what I love to do, which is hang out in person, hug you, squeeze you, live to please you. I want to see the sparkle in your eyes when you're talking. I want to get your whole fit check, head to toe, and just connect. If you are in the New York area, and you want to do that again, pay attention. We're definitely doing some more events. So have some things in the work. We're cooking up some stuff in the Cosmic Kitchen to come to LA. And if you're in the New England Northeast area, or again, you just want to go there, I have a very exciting announcement. We are going to be doing a IRL. Sorry, computer's being really annoying. We're going to be doing an IRL retreat to kick off 2026 at the gorgeous Kripalu Institute in the Berkshires, January 6th to the 11th. It's called the Cosmic Call Retreat, a calling really for the multidimensional leaders and artists. It's going to be a weekend of deep practices, soulful community, embodied rituals, shamanic energy work, and of course, astrological magic to help you understand your blueprint, your birth chart, and how to really live it. Okay. So if you want more information, we'll link to that in the show notes, or you can come find me on Instagram and ask questions about it. And as some of you know, we brought back the burning question segment and winner last week. And if you leave a rating and review on iTunes, you can leave it on Spotify. We have to send us a screenshot, but on iTunes, you can put your Instagram handle there, and we are picking a winner every week for you to drop your birth chart in my DMs and ask me a burning question, get a cosmic love note back. So if you want to be like this week's winner, go check that out. This week's winner is XXOO Zoo. Weekly Clarity. Honestly, I've been a listener for a little over a year. Every Monday or Tuesday, I listen to it, especially for the moon forecast, because I love the moon, one of us. I also read the Substack blog. I used to read the Substack blog throughout the week just to refresh myself. Maddie helps me get over my Sunday scaries And I don't know, brings me comfort and makes me feel less alone while I continue to navigate my 20s. Love this podcast, love Maddie, and I never want it to end. So okay, first of all, I love it's like, I don't know. I love the I don't know. I love when like, we type as we speak, like, I don't know, it just helps me feel less alone in the world. Well, I love that. That's exactly what I want to do. I love that I'm there for you in your 20s. Um, XXOO Zoo, Cutie Pie, come find me in the DMs. I am Madi Murphy or at the Cosmic RX. Drop your birth chart. I'm going to answer a burning question for you. And if you want to get in on that magic and love, leave your review and let's do the same. Okay, shall we talk about the moon? Should we talk about the moon for a second? Let's do our emotional weather for the week. Let's check in. Let's get the pen and paper out. Let's talk about what we can expect in the inner world and how we can use it to best navigate this outside crazy freaking world this week. Okay. Um, so the day this podcast comes out, we're coming off of that spicy 29th critical energetic degree Virgo eclipse. Woo! And then Monday and Tuesday, we're moving to the moon in Libra. How beautiful to kick off a moon in Libra moment right at the beginning of Libra season, right at the beginning of the fall equinox. So we're leaning in, we're being asked to double down on harmony, on fairness, on beauty, on connecting with your people. This is a great day for rituals, for celebrating and creating beauty. You on yourself with glamour magic, in your spaces, going out and just absorbing beauty, meditation, mediation, collaborating. It's almost like the Virgo energy, right, of the eclipse cleaned out the final bit of clutter, physical, energetic, spiritual, psychic. And now Libra season's like, what are we going to replace it with? How are we going to up level that in a beautiful way, right? It's like you're getting one of those old early 2000s makeover shows on a mystical level. And this is the day to start it. This is the day to set the intention around what that may be. We're going to look out for on the Libra moon days, the people pleasing or overcommitting just to keep the peace. We're not doing that. I think Taylor said it, like your energy is valuable. It's expensive. I always say that too, but I agree with her on that. We're on the same page in that regard. And then as we move into Wednesday, early morning on the 20th, the evening of Friday, the 26th, we have the moon in Scorpio. And we're going to have a Mars in Scorpio. So get ready to go full on Scorpionic. The best parts of Scorpio energy, I believe, is when it goes deep, channels that intensity into something transformational, alchemical, artistic, sensual, that helps us get in touch with our intimacy, with others, with ourselves, with helping remembering that we have the power to transmute and transform in any given moment. So what are the things that help us do that, right? Is it journaling? Is it going to therapy? Is it booking a cool spiritual self-care session of some sort? Is it doing a little light shadow work? In my book, in the Cosmic Zone, every chapter has shadow work around each sign. So it's like, go in there, read yourself for filth. I promise you, it's actually going to open up a lot of wealth and beauty and gold for you. We're not going to go snooping around on Moon and Scorpio days. It's so easy to want to get like either spy or spiral into paranoia. Scorpio moon days can intensify everything. So again, we're going to channel it consciously, externally, and we're going to, or like internally for ourselves, but like get it out of our head. And just be like, does it really serve us to jump down these narratives? Probably not. Hey, Saturday, the 27th into Sunday, we got a moon in Sag. A moon in Sag is Sag, Sag. This is as deep as we go in Scorpio, is as high as we fly in Sagittarius. So we're talking adventure, we're talking big picture thinking, we're talking excitement, inspiration, reconnecting to your big why, or learning something new, being lit up by something new. Inspiration is the game, is the name of the game. And just when finding joy in your journey, in your everyday journey, how can you do that? What does that mean for you, right? What brings you into that space? I love, like, honestly, like, people watching in a cafe, even on a Sag moon day, going to, watch a documentary if I'm at home that opens me up to a new way of being. Going to a yoga class, actually more like spiritual, philosophical one. Or like either booking a trip or researching a place you want to go. And then the thing that we're going to avoid on the Sag moon days is overdoing it with excess, right? We can really be excessive. We can be excessive talking, leaky throat chakra, or we can be overcommitting, overspending, overindulging. Sag is like more is more energy. So let's just keep it a little planetary planning. Let's talk about my planetary service announcement. PSA, PSA. We have Mars in Scorpio, September 22nd. This is going to be big. This is going to be intense. This goes until November 4th. Now, I need to give everyone a heads up on this because Mars in Scorpio is an intense Mars placement in general. Actually, Jordy Jacks, my baby Scorpio's Mars placement, and I love it. And it's so funny. Before I gave birth to Jordy, I was super, super pregnant, but I was loving like workouts for helping my mental, my physical health. And I remember going to my last soul cycle class, waddling myself up onto that bike and being like, oh Lord, the bladder. I couldn't even make it through a whole class without going to the bathroom. But I'm on this bike and I'm just like thinking about this baby's birth chart and who they are and what do I need to know? I'm asking the universe, what do I need to know to be the best soul guide, to be the best mama? And this like spitfire of a woman, of a human gets on this bike and she's like, super like high energy and muscular and like just wearing like a singlet, like a wrestler in a high school wrestling match. And she's like, and she's like, yeah, she's like, I love this. Let's go, let's go. And she gave this really inspirational class, really powerful, really passionate. And I was like, whoa, it was like an energy drink. But at some point in the class, I shit you not, she goes, I have a Mars in Scorpio. I have a lot of energy. I have to channel my intensity into high energy activities or else I go crazy. My parents had to put me in martial arts. I'm here. I do this. And I was like, I had already been thinking Mars and Scorpio martial arts for this baby. And I was like, confirmed universe, check, check. So I just want to say that like this soul cycle instructor in the NoHo location, if you're listening, being like, can we channel this intensity? Or else it is going to overcome us. Okay. And this is from September 22nd to November 4th. This is warrior witch energy. This is passion. This is focus. This is intensity, right? Everything's high, but it can also help us transform something. And our rage and the heat that we're feeling, or whatever it is that we're feeling intense over, it has purpose. If we're being triggered, it wants to teach us something. If we're rageful, it's because we're ready for change in some kind of a way, right? I also love fun fact. It's going to be Jordy's first Mars return. And if astrology isn't real, then why do the quote unquote terrible twos, which I do not subscribe to that, but I do understand that at 2, toddlers start putting up more boundaries. They start vocalizing their emotions more. They have big feels. They, again, have their own sense of autonomy, what they like, what they don't like. The terrible twos literally coincides in astrology with a baby's first Mars return, the first time Mars comes back into the natal placement. And Mars is always doing that for us, galvanizing action. We're moving more like toddlers are. We're finding what lights us up, what makes us passionate. Right now for Jordies, it's babies, it's beep beeps, it's trucks, it's bubbles, it's apples. But also it's showing us heat and anger. I don't like that. I don't want to do that right now. I want to do this on my own, right? So just like the Mars return of a toddler. If you're going through your Mars return, you're going to be feeling all of that. But we all feel like when Mars shifts signs, we can have a fine tuning of these themes in our own lives. Okay. So as a ritual, as a way to work with this for an RX, I would love for you to write down one thing, be really honest with yourself that you've been afraid to face and commit to taking one brave, bold, badass, scorpionic action step towards it. Okay. And I want you to think about as inspiration, this is your Phoenix rising season, that thing that you've been avoiding. Pardon me that I just burped. Your thing that you've been avoiding, it's actually leaking out your power, or it's been keeping you tied down. And by cutting that, it's like the Phoenix rising season, right? You're burning something down, you're releasing something that's been heavy, and now you make space for what's truly powerful and aligned. And you're feeling all of this like in your wings and spreading them and feeling like, yeah, I feel free. I feel excited. I feel energized by life again, as you should. Okay. And with Mars and Scorpio too, I might recommend a shamanic ritual that I did in my shaman school. In terms of the burning it down, in terms of the transmutation, transformation, there may be a label or many labels that you're being asked to release. We're in a really transformative time in our collective, and it's happening in the personal, right? If you've always been maybe in one role in your career, if you've done, had your own business, if you've always had one role in your family dynamics, if you've always played one part, whatever, in your own life story, there may be a burning of a role, of a label to being asked during this time. Okay. So the individual is up for discussion. but so is the couple energy, the collaborative energy, the we, because we have the sun moves into Libra, and whenever the sun moves into Libra, relationships, beauty, harmony, diplomacy all come to center stage in our life and in the collective. And of course, we know the first day of Libra season coincides with the fall equinox, which we know is one of the 2 days of the year where we experience perfect balance and harmony between the day, the night, the light, the dark, right? So this is for us. This is an invitation as above, so below, as within, as without. Like, how do we realign within ourselves? Where's the invitation to realign something? So a great ritual in RX, a cosmic RX for this would be, where in my life, right? Do I need more reciprocity? Can I do an audit around balance in my life and be really honest? Where do I need to give less and receive more? Where do I need to give more and receive less? Hopefully, probably not the latter, but when we're being honest with ourselves, we're honest guys. I know for me, Libra energy is married to a Libra. My, sister's a Libra. My best friend's a Libra. And it's like, whenever I'm around them in their truest form, they're just so harmonious. They're really good at figuring out win-win solutions. They bring elegance, they bring beauty, they bring also an up-leveled like quality to life. So if part of your life has felt a little swag, if it's been feeling like giving like Timo Sheehan vibes, it's like, let's let go of that. Let's up level for something that feels more elegant, more timeless in terms of understanding our worthiness in life, right? And just a reminder too, as the sun moves into Libra for this whole season, I invite you to look around and be honest with yourself of like allowing and help, admitting to yourself and owning that you don't have to do it all alone, right? You're a badass and you can do it all, but doesn't mean you have to. And there's a lot of balance that's found in partnership and support and co-creation. There's headaches that come with it, right? Anyone who's in partnership, work partnership or romantic partnership, marriage. Yeah. But also like that work of tending to the partnership and finding compromise and finding balance, so much beauty can come out of that. We can do so much more, right? I just had the pleasure of officiating my best friend's wedding, and I spoke the same part. I always make everyone's ceremony very personal, but there's always a part I like to include a prayer that like this love in partnership can create more good in the world together than these two individuals could do apart. And to me, I find that is such a beautiful calling in partnership to create more ease, more support, more insight, more wisdom, more inspiration, more clarity, right? More joy, more giggles together that we can do apart. And also, I know for like my partnership, my Libra life wizard, he does offer me a safe place and a foundation that I can go out in the world and do this work with you or to show up as a better version of myself. And like, I said it in my vows. I'm like, that's what I'm here for, right? That's what I'm here for. The second a relationship is draining you more than it is nourishing you, it is time to reassess. I'm not saying jump ship, it happens, but it is time for a conversation, right? It's time for the check in. And then September 23rd, the sun is going to oppose Neptune. So just as a heads up, buggy, dreamy, confusing vibes. We haven't had a Neptune in Aries, opposite Sun in Libra. So we're gonna be feeling like the we, the me balancing, but also a confusion energy. I would just love you to light a candle this day for a ritual, RX, meditate. What's the deeper truth? Don't push, don't make big decisions, please. Don't like spontaneously break up or quit your job or blah blah this day. But there may be information coming through. And you also might feel a little I wanna say lazy, I don't like that word, lethargic, a little listless, a little, like, just wanting to, like, take it all in versus, like, power through. And just remember, not every pause is procrastination, right? To me, a lot of procrastination moments in my life were actually, like, me just waiting for more cosmic clarity, for more divine downloads that could only come from, like, the stillness, the wait. This day is also I say this because the sun will be trining Uranus. Again, first time of us having Sun in Libra trine Uranus and Gemini. This whole year is so many firsts for us energetically. And this could have a big aha energy around innovation, around breakthroughs. So again, this combo of these two things is like light a candle, pause, do some free writing, follow the spark, right? And that kind of leads us into we're getting into a little intensity. The heat is getting turned up on the old oven a little bit. Okay. So September 24th, the sun is going to trine Pluto. Sun in Libra, trine Pluto in Aquarius. Wow, on the world stage, there's definitely going to be some things around justice and people and revolution and good Lord. But on the personal level, this can actually conjure up a really magnetic, charismatic energy. Like in groups, in like-minded community, you might make a great connection, romantic, professional, creative, otherwise. You might also need to look at maybe some stuff that comes up from the surface around relationships or around some kind of injustice, imbalance that's happening around you. And I would just love for you to, really own with conviction your values. If you haven't done a value defining exercise of defining your three top values, it's a great day to do it. And also just like checking in, like, is everything in alignment with that? And also back to magnetic energy. I do think that understanding our values makes us more magnetic because we know our yeses, we know what we're about. And I think, obviously values are associated with Venus, and Venus in our chart makes us highly magnetic. So this is it, right? Own your influence, own your magnetism, but do it from a place of being in alignment with your values, with your truth. Then this goes into the same day. Mars is going to start to square Pluto, right? This is cosmic caution tape alert. This is definitely going to bring up some stuff on the world stage. Like I would just say, be safe, keep your wits about you, not fear mongering, but just like be aware of your surroundings. Don't put yourself into extra like volatile situations if you don't need to. And it's going to bring up in the collective level like a vengeful feeling. Whenever Mars and Pluto have been doing something since I've been tracking it professionally like this, it's intense. On the personal level, for you, my cutie, caution tape, right? Like I said, this is power struggle vibes. This is jealousy. This can manifest as manipulation. It can also manifest though as movement, as heat, bringing things up to the surface and transmuting and transforming them. Like instead of carrying around this bulky baggage of shadow, of repression, of something we're ashamed over or like don't want to deal with, we can bring this up and out. I would love to do something just to release tension this day for you, to move energy, breath work, movement, boxing. What's something that feels like it helps you move energy, especially rage, frustration, jealousy, like those heavy, like solar plexus emotions, and set some boundaries, gentle or maybe more firm if needed. Okay, so trust that. And just reminder, sometimes the most powerful, the most boss bitch move is actually restraint. Is actually like not biting your tongue in that peacekeeping, pushing things below the surface way, but in the feeling of like, I don't need to lose my shit right now. So I'm gonna let you tell on yourself. I'm gonna let you, you know, I'm just gonna stand in my truth, right? Power isn't always proven in how loud you roar, but instead in how steady and regulated you can stay. Right? A lot of intensity. Let's keep our eyes on that. And as we wrap up, just remembering this week is like equal, like balance, air, beauty, harmony, and then like intensity, heat, spiciness from the celestial space. But this equinox is reminding us that we are both. We are light, we are dark. We thrive when we are in alignment. We are in connection and attuned to our wholeness in all parts of us. And of course, the Mars square Pluto of it all is reminding us that the real power comes from within. So let's use this week to recalibrate if we need, to face anything we've been avoiding, and to remember that the true cosmic bad bitch energy is about showing up for this revolution, rooted, rebellious, and radiant. Okay? So until next week, I'm sending you big ass blessings of prayers of protection and direction always. And those prayers and blessings were, let the Mars and Scorpio be sexy. Okay. The Mars and Scorpio is sexy. So this might be an activation point for those big fat juicy checks and that hot fulfilling, steamy, toe curling sex that are all part of your birthright. So stay beautiful, stay cosmic. I'll see you next Monday.
Do you love getting your Cosmic RX for the week here and want more? Make sure to sign up for our premium subscription so you can get exclusive access to bonus podcast episodes, all of my astrology info for the month ahead, and live new and full moon calls to help you manifest your dream life with an intentional international community of other cosmic baddies. Sign up through our link in show notes. Thank you so much for listening to this episode. If you want to know more about Cosmic RX, head on over to thecosmicrx.com. And if you really love this show, I'd love it if you left a rating and review on Apple Podcast or wherever you listen to podcasts. I super love hearing from you and reading your reviews. All right, you cosmic baddie, tune in next week. And until then, remember, love yourself fully, work your magic, and take no shit.